Hello, it's Molly Reamer with Bridget's Grove, and I wanted to do a quick video, a walkthrough, flip through of a 30 Days of Goddess prayer book, finished prayer book for a daily goddess-centered practice. And I have many resources available for creating your own practice in this way, and they're available via my Patreon. Many of them are free, and then there's supplemental resources that are just for patrons there. But anyway, it's patreon.com/bridgetsgrove. So this one has a cover that was a birthday card that my oldest son drew for me, and the inside cover is a cut-apart birthday card that my second son drew for me. So this is actually the front of the card that I then cut off and glued inside the back of the other card. And then there is a hand-carved block print from Tree Newbie, who is on Instagram, and Mama Tree 17. I always forget the last part. Mama Tree something. and then there's other little things that I cut in, like make your own ritual from a Goddess Provisions box. I'm always on the lookout for things that I can cut up and use. And this one, I just cut out the new prompts and glued them in the front of the book. So the book format can be the same. I have multiple versions of the book template, and you can use the first one, which was even simpler. You can use that whenever you want. It's not like you have to perform or produce or follow a certain set of rules. Excuse me, I'm positioned on the rock here. I wasn't very comfortable with the way I was before. So I love to put a little pocket in the middle. This one, or in the beginning, this one still has a printable sticker that I haven't used yet. It's got feathers that I found during that month. And a little note. I'm not able to open it. It'll inspire her note. Chelsea, one of our moderators in the Creative Spirit Circle group, sent me these little cards. And so I stuck one in there. I like to have little pockets and little things to notice and explore, kind of like you're taking a small little adventure when you go through. So I was still adapting to using some of my own little printed cards for this one. This one has a little watercolor that I did that I then cut out. I love cutting stuff out of old issues of the Phoenix Soul magazine, which is Amanda Fall, the Phoenix Soul on Instagram, at the Phoenix Soul, and so I cut those out and like to use them in different ways. And then my own little prayers printed out tiny, and then the little word cards I started cutting out and putting in instead of handwriting it. So this particular prayer book features a lot of the little cards and little fold-out additional stuff because I was having tons of fun with that mode. And like I said, having the book itself be kind of a little adventure when you go through it. Like, what am I going to discover? I don't know if you had books like that when you were a kid, where there's a letter to open, like inside the book, or something, something to open and look at. I always like stuff like that. My kids have always liked stuff like that. So this is like a devotional that's in that format, but for grown-up goddess lovers among us to have a little journey through, and little pockets and doors to open and things to discover or uncover. Affirmation cards that I made. So I was interested. A sticker that came from Marilee, from another one of our moderators, and I have, and they are Social Justice Hag and Kitchen Witch, but I can't remember the actual username for their Kitchen Witch shop ID. But anyway, I like stickers. I like putting the stickers in, but I also like making my own quote-unquote stickers with printed out goddesses and things inside on them. Things that I add. Another card. That one came from Fiona, who is a Global Village Witch on Instagram, and she sent that to me, and so I made it into a little note. And one of the things I was going to, and sticker from Dandelion Lady. I love how these become kind of almost like a compilation of friendship and support circle, and the people in your world that influence you and your practices, they can be represented in your prayer books as well, and that feels kind of special to me to page through and see things that other people have given me. What I was going to say about the little cards is that I've been kind of surprised to see how well they all work together, or how compatible they are, even though they were created in different years and for different purposes and different intents. They weren't intended to be teeny tiny, they weren't intended to be stuck in a little book necessarily, but they work really well. And then I thought it was kind of funny for me to be surprised by how well they work, because I made them after all, and so no wonder they can be integrated with one another, because they're parts of me. This is a cutout separate page from a little extra Spring Magic prayer book that I'd made, so I cut that out to include, and this is from a Imbolc Magic prayer book that I'd made. Another Phoenix Soul resource page. Boom. This one could not resist. That's another Dandelion Lady one. This one has a little envelope created pocket inside, which then holds the smaller Spring Magic prayer book. Yay! Slipped inside there. And then this was a part of the Spring Magic prayer book too that I didn't want the other side of it. I wanted this part. I wanted this illustration, and then I wanted the inside part. And so there's no rule that says a page has to open out the way a book opens out. It can open out the other direction instead. Remember, it's a choose your own adventure experience, so why not that? And that was those flowers were from another greeting card that I just cut out because I liked the way they looked. And this is actually one of my favorite pages in the book. I like the little centerpiece with the little prayer, and then little elemental goddesses in the corners. And then I like her too, and that was a fun page to create. Another Dandelion Lady piece. More Phoenix Soul stuff. Another part of my own Spring Magic prayer book. And then with the card layout part inside, but I covered it up because I punched out something from the back of it with my little punch. So I filled in the whole punch with another punch from a different card. And then a gentle reminder, you cannot do it all, but you can do enough. This is the distinction between what is burnout and what is achievable. That's a good reminder, right? Oh, that was from Post-it Note Poetry that I'd saved that from. This one too was from Post-it Note Poetry. It keeps getting out of focus. I'm sorry about that. These are my own prayer cards printed out small and stuck in. It's from a Unitarian Universalist magazine, I believe. Maybe it's from a travel magazine. One of our own business cards cut up. Little Persephone note. Little pocket of hidden beauty. Yay. Another little pocket. This is when I really started getting into pockets. This one has a little home ritual. That was a combination of other things, but it makes such a nice little ritual in and of itself that I feel like I should do something else with this and make it into a little bookmark or printable kind of in and of itself, because I really liked how it worked together. And more feathers that I found that day. Messages. Parts from a Wee Moon date book from last year. This one is a combination with a little fold out and new writing. I really want people to be able to make these without feeling that they have to write something new all the time, because I know writing is not everyone's medium, and so you are not required to write something every day. And if you don't write something, it doesn't mean that you've failed or that you haven't kept up the practice, or that it doesn't count. It still totally counts, even if you just stuck a sticker in here every day, or if you had one, maybe you had a Wee Moon date book and you just cut something out of it and stuck it here every day, and that was literally it. For me, part of the power of this practice is the commitment to whatever it is that you've chosen. So if you've chosen oracle cards, I still have mine here from a different thing I was doing. If choosing an oracle card is what you want to focus on, like have this be where you note down your oracle card. If you're tracking the moon phase, if you're looking at your runes, if whatever it is that you're doing, it's the commitment and the daily practice to me that matters, not the performance or the doing it right, or the having it be as elaborate as it could be, but rather the continued showing up for yourself. So if your practice is, I'm going to sit, I'm going to place my hand on my heart, and I'm going to speak the name of the goddess aloud, but I'm going to do that every day for 30 days, that will change your life. That will deepen your spirituality. That counts as a practice. And so I find the writing of the new things and the creating each day a really important thing for me, but that doesn't mean it has to be for you. And these can be very, I did another one that I'll flip back through in a different video, but I did another one that I did solely with things that I'd cut out and stuck in. No new writing and nothing drawn. I did do my things at the top, but nothing new, because I wanted to see if it could still be fulfilling, if it could still be enriching, if it could still be nourishing, and if it could still be meaningful without the fresh writing, because I find the fresh writing for me is important, but for other people, I think it just loads on the pressure and makes them feel like they have to do something or perform in some way. So this one has another little restore book in it, and those are just, I really had fun with that. And I had new little pockets that were fun too. This is going on a little too long. Sorry about that. Oops, that needs a reglue. And in the end, which I have my little bakery bag and a poem from We Moon on that. And this is where I store my stencils and things that I'm going to use. I store in there, and then at the end I take it out and kind of reuse it in a different book. So the books end up pretty fat, but they become a little thinner after you take out your stuff from your pocket to reuse. So anyway, that's a flip through. I have a new one begun and in the works, and this is going to be my first time using the pre-printed one with my own writing and this cut it out, stick it down method. So it's a new approach for a new month, and there's stuff that I'm getting ready to use right there. So anyway, thanks for being here, and feel free to take part in whatever capacity brings you joy.